And on top of 6 p.m. on This Is Exclusive, the story that was broken by Republic TV and the coverage that has forced the Hyderabad police to move, finally, 5 days after the crime was committed. On the 28th of May is when the crime was committed. There are pictures to that effect. And on Friday, Republic TV broke the story in the morning. That's last morning. We broke the details of what was going on and how there had been no arrests or movement. Now, all of yesterday, we reported on the questions that arise and why the police in Hyderabad had much to answer for. We're getting in more details now that 5 have been identified. Now, we are hearing from our sources that 4 boys are seen in the car. 4 boys are seen in a red Mercedes-Benz car. And of the 4 who were seen in the Mercedes-Benz, we are hearing that 2 or 3 have been identified and have been taken into custody. But what about the 4th? There are questions being raised about the 4th. In all, 5 have been named. And if 5 are named and 3 are in custody, what about the 2 others? Because if I'm not wrong, let me go across to Aneri joining us on the broadcast. Aneri, did the police not tell you that 5 were identified, Aneri? If 5 were identified, how is it that just 3 have been taken into custody? Aneri, how is it that just 3 are in custody? How is it that 2 others are still free this evening?
That's right, Niranjan. Well, as we continue to speak, well, two more accused in this case are still absconding. Well, the statement from the police officials also says that they are making efforts to find out and to nab the other 2 accused. Well, there are a total of 5 accused in this case, and 1 of them is major, and 2 other juveniles have been taken in custody, but 2 more are yet to be nabbed apprehended by the police officials. Well, definitely. The question raises that why there is a delay in making why there's a delay from making arrest of these accused in this case. And so the opposition parties also have been raising the same question, that why there is a delay in investigating and why there is a delay in getting the accused nabbed in custody. And also at the same time, we see that today morning 2 juveniles were also taken in custody, and last evening there was 1 arrest which was made of Shaduddin Malik, who is a major, and so he was taken in custody. And today morning, the 2 other accused in this case were taken in custody.
Now we are hearing that the NCPCR has also written to the state police in Telangana, in Hyderabad. Now, what are they alleging? What are they saying to you? Aneri, the NCPCR, what is the NCPCR saying?
Yeah. As we see that NCPCR has also now written a letter to the Hyderabad police in regard with this case, and also they have raised question on why there was a delay in filing an FIR in this case, and also they have requested to initiate a necessary action and necessary inquiry and proper necessary legal action should be taken in this matter, is what the NCPCR has written a letter to the Hyderabad Police Commissioner in this regard. And also at the same time, well, as we have the NCPCR letter with us, I would read out few lines from that, which says that the National Women Commission for Protection of Child Rights has received a complaint, and so based on that they have taken cognizance of the above matter, and they are asking the police officials to take up further inquiry into this matter, and also appropriate action should be taken, is what the NCPCR has been stating.
Okay, let me quickly get in the NCPCR chairperson Priyank Karungo, who's joining us on the broadcast. Priyank ji, the NCPCR has written a letter, we hear, to the Hyderabad police in this particular case. Now, as of this evening, it's 6:04. Out of the 5 who were named in the complaint, we are hearing that only 3 have been taken into custody. 2 others are still absconding. Now, is it possible the 2 who are absconding could be absconding just like that when the incident happened 6 days ago, and we are hearing there could be VVIP links in the case. Now, I'd like to get your response to this.
देखिए, इस मामले में हमने संज्ञान लिया है और CPCR एक्ट के सेक्शन 13 में हमने नोटिस इशू किया है वहाँ के हैदराबाद के पुलिस कमिश्नर को, और हमने इसके साथ साथ वहाँ के डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट को, कलेक्टर को भी नोटिस किया है। और उन दोनों से हमने ये कहा है कि 28 तारीख को घटना होने के बाद 31 तारीख तक जो FIR में 3 दिन का डिले हुआ, पब के अंदर बच्चों को अलाउ कैसे किया गया, बच्चे को CWC में प्रोड्यूस करें, उसका स्टेटमेंट कराएं, उसका 164 का स्टेटमेंट कराएं, उसको इंटरिम रिलीफ दिलवाएं, और जो जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट और पॉक्सो एक्ट के प्रोसीजर्स हैं उनका पूरा फॉलो करें, और हमको उसके बाद एक एक्शन टेकन रिपोर्ट सबमिट करें। हमने कल ये नोटिस दिया है और उसके बाद हमें
प्लीज गो अहेड
कल ये नोटिस दिया है। उसके बाद आपके चैनल्स के थ्रू ही हमको पता चला है कि उन्होंने अरेस्ट करने की प्रोसेस शुरू की है। हमको उम्मीद है कि वो लोग नियत समय में हमको जवाब देने के पहले कार्रवाई पूरी कर लेंगे, नहीं तो हम दूसरी कार्रवाई जो हमारी तरफ से हो सकती है वो शुरू करेंगे।
इस केस जो है, and I'll tell you the reason why, you know, there are many people raising questions also, Mr. Kanungo. आपको पता होगा कि there was a very high profile case called the Disha case. Okay? Now, ये जो contrast हो रहा है आज, right, there was a Disha case in which immediately, if I'm not wrong, in a day or less or more, the killers were identified. The rapists were identified, right? And Karuna Gopal is also joining us on this broadcast, right? They were not just identified, there was an encounter, and that encounter was also found to be fake recently in a report that was submitted. Now, the reason why I'm even raising this is because you have a contrast directly to the approach and the immediacy shown in both these cases, right? It's a gang rape case.
Definitely. देखिए आपकी बात बिल्कुल ठीक है। हमने कैटेगरिकली पूछा है पुलिस को कि 28 तारीख को घटना होने के बाद 31 तारीख तक वो किसका इंतज़ार कर रहे थे FIR दर्ज करने के लिए। आज 4 तारीख हो गई है, अभी तक उनको प्रोसेसेस का पालन करते हुए सभी एक्यूज्ड को अरेस्ट करना चाहिए था। हमने इसीलिए नोटिस लिया है। अगर पुलिस अपना काम ठीक तरीके से कर रही होती तो कमीशन को बीच में इंटरफेयर करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती। तो
No, go ahead. I think there's some delay between your audio and mine, so there's some delay there. Yeah, go ahead. Complete your point.
तो definitely there are lapses on part of police, on part of district administration. That's why we have issued notice, and now we are waiting for their report. As soon as we will get the report from the police and the district collector of the Hyderabad, then we will take another step or other steps what appropriately as per the provisions of law.
Now, Karuna Gopal, now, you know, one of the messages I'll tell you that was shared by the police, which is, you know, and some of the sources that we've been talking to, and I'm just going to read out from this message. And, you know, I have my colleague Aneri also joining us, and she's been reporting on the story. Without naming the officer or giving out details, let me tell you, the police, one of the officers has told my colleague Aneri that any particulars, and it's very interesting, Mr. Kanungo, you also listen to this, and Aneri is on the broadcast, and my question is to Karuna Gopal. You listen to this. They have said, any particulars or any reference to the family which may lead to disclosure of identity of the victim or child is an offence. I appeal to the media to stop revealing direct or indirect content related to the victim which may lead to the identification. Now, nobody wants to give away the details of either the victim or in the case of, you know, POXO. It's a case of POXO. We know the, you know, the sensitivity, so we are being extremely careful. But do you see a lot that is not being answered by the police when you have two more absconding but named, but also seen. We are told that there is a video, and my colleague, I'll go to my colleague Aneri next. She's hearing that in one of the videos, which is being used as proof, there are 4 boys seen in a car. Now, if 4 are seen in a car, 5 are named, only 3 are picked up. Now, that raises many questions, Karuna.
Yes. In fact, I was saying this repeatedly, that but for the public outrage and but for the media trial, like the discussions that have been happening continuously, the picking up of culprits also would have been delayed, terribly delayed. It's only because of these discussions, it's only because of the public outrage that I think the police started acting, and the government cannot use any of its dilatory tactics that it was using, especially in this case. As you were mentioning, in the last case of 2019, the veterinary doctor's case, they were picked up just like that in no time. But why is the delay in this case? So obviously the police is in the know of who is involved, and the repercussions can be very big for the TRS party. And therefore they tried to put it under the carpet. But the public outrage did not allow that to happen, and the media discussions also did not allow that to happen, and therefore they have expedited, booking, bringing those boys to book. So even now, as you see, the only 3 of them have been picked up, and the other 2 are absconding. It will take a little bit of time, but at least I'm happy that the process has started, and the victim will finally see some bit of justice.
But there is also one development that has happened this morning, Karuna Gopal, for which even the BJP will have to answer. And let me get in Aneri. Aneri, there was a news conference we are hearing this morning where some of the local BJP leaders, now not sure who these leaders were, but you'll be able to tell us more, gave out some details and some pictures were shared, etc. Now, is that legally allowed, given that they were minors? In a news conference, was it done in a news conference?
That's right, Niranjan. It was done in a news conference, and the person who had revealed those photos and videos is a BJP MLA who had revealed those photos and videos of the accused and also the victim, which is not allowed. And so we are also trying not to show any of the accused photos or videos, and also the victim's names, or as she is also a minor, we are not showing any of such information in regard with as it would reveal the identity. But yes, it was the BJP's MLA from Dubaka, Raghunandan Rao, who had held a press conference in which, in a live press conference, he had showed the photos and videos of the incident of which took place.
Okay, so that's where the story stands. I'd like to thank at this point the NCPCR chairperson. Mr. Kanungo, you'll have to also look at such instances where people put out pictures in the public domain. That is also something that has to be addressed. Thank you, Karuna Gopal and Mr. Kanungo and Aneri.